Hello everybody! Hello, welcome to my first ever live stream. Please bear with me as it's my first time doing this, so there might be a few technical difficulties and stuff like that. But I'm learning, so yes. Yes. How are you all doing? Cool. So before I get started, I just wanted to quickly acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which I work, live, and now stream on. I'd also like to pay my respect to elders past and present before I get started today. But yeah, so on these little streamies, I've decided I wanted to kind of do some more graphic design-y type of stuff, and I thought I would start by like redesigning graphic design-y things that already like exist out there. So for today, you might have already seen, but what I wanted to originally do, was to redo the like Netflix intro, like the da-dum. And whilst I was exploring that idea, I came up with the idea of making like a Netflix screensaver similar to like the DVD screensaver. The classic one where it hits all the walls and like never seems to hit the corner, but I wanted to make it so it does hit the corner, so you get that satisfaction. So yes, that is what I'll be trying to duplicate today. Yeah, I'll just give it a couple minutes, see if anybody else wants to join in, and then I'll get started. I'll be using Illustrator today, and then heading into After Effects to do the motion designy stuff. Coolio. Alright, I'm just gonna get started. So I've already got a layer open up on Adobe Illustrator over here, and I'm just gonna start off by making the Netflix logo. I had a quick Google before my stream today, which to see what font Netflix use for their logo, and it's up here, it's Bieber's New, and I've got it on the boldest one because I think it looks the best. So that's what we'll be using. Type in Netflix. Awesome. Bit box smaller, bring it in the middle here. Amazing. I'm just gonna change the color. Hell yeah, already it looks like the Netflix logo. But I wanted to play around with it a little bit more. Adobe Illustrator has these new features called 3D and materials, and I wanted to do that to give this Netflix logo a bit more of a 3D look, which might make it a bit more cubey and make it look more satisfying when it hits the edges or the corners of the DVD screensaver that I'll make later on. So let's start by, I've had a bit of a play with this before. I think inflate looks the best, so let's chuck that on. Dun, dun, dun. And you can see already it's gotten a bit 3D. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see a bit better. Dun, dun, dun. But it looks sort of bad, so I'm gonna add some depth. Take back the volume a bit so it's a little bit more flat, and it looks like it's doing nothing, but as soon as I play around with this rotation a little bit, you can see what it's doing. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. So yeah, I want to keep that volume pretty much on 0. I like that really like flat look. And how deep do I want it? Maybe like that. And which way? Which way do I want the 3D? I like that. I kind of like where that's going. Cool. Leave it at that. I'll just gonna right click create outlines. It just makes it a little bit easier to work with than working with it as text. And then just gonna play around the lighting a little bit. Won't matter too much because as it hits the edges of the like DVD thing, you know, like it changes colors anyway, so I don't have to stress too much about this stuff. Yep. Just playing around with it till I get something I like. Ba-ba-bum. Cool, I might see if I can make this outer layer a bit of a darker red. I'll play with that. Nah, didn't do what I wanted it to. Yeah, I'm new to this 3D materials stuff, so just playing around till I get something I'm happy with. Nope. So I think I'm just gonna go back to here. Change the rotation back. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that to be the logo that moves around the screen. Cool. So I'm just gonna hide my screen real quick, save that and send it over to After Effects. So figure out where my music went. There it is. Amazing. All right. Just moving that Netflix over to After Effects and then we can get started with the animation stuff. Cool. So here we are now in After Effects, not Adobe Illustrator anymore, and I'm going to bring in my little Netflix logo that I made real quick just now. Pull that in, and it's ginormous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a null layer, because if I try and scale this layer down, it messes up with the stuff later on. So I'm just going to go new, null, and I'm going to parent this Netflix layer to the null layer, and then scale this guy down. I want it fairly small because the DVD logo is quite small. It needs to like move around the screen quite a bit. Yeah, I reckon about that size. Maybe a little bit. Nah, probably about that size because then it can bounce pretty comfortably around. Okay, cool. We'll leave it at that. The next steps I need to do is make little guides so that I know when the Netflix logo is to bounce off each of the walls. So in order to do that, I have to measure, I have to put this right in the edge, zoom in to make sure I get it right. Awesome. And I'm gonna go show rulers. Here are my rulers, and I might move that over just a little bit more. There we go. And I want to match these rulers up to the crosshairs on this Netflix here, so that I know that when the center of this image hits the guide, that's when it needs to bounce off. So I'll pull in a ruler here, line that up. That's pretty good. And then pull in a ruler here and line that up. Sweet. And then gotta grab this, pull it over. Cool, get that right in the corner. And oops, once this is selected, make sure that the crosshairs match with that bottom one, and then pull over this vertical one here. Oh, that came off a little bit. Yeah, that's about right. And I'm gonna do the same to the top. Pull it up, zoom back in. Make sure it's nice and perfect. Cool. Pull this one down, make sure it matches. Not too bad. Then just gonna pull it over to this corner and make sure it's all good. This one should line up if the others do, but can never be too sure. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. Okay, cool. So now that we know where this crosshair has to hit for it to be in line with the edges of the screen, we can start mapping out its path, which is the fun bit. Get to decide when it hits that satisfying corner edge. But before that, just gonna have a quick water break. Groovy. Alright. So I've just got to pick a spot for it to start. I think I'm just going to get it to start somewhere around here. Yeah. I just had to make sure it lined up perfectly with this line to make it extra satisfying. Perfect. Next, I'm going to grab this little pen tool and create a mask on this Netflix layer to decide where I want it to travel. So I'm going to start right. Oh, actually, before I do that, I've got to lock guides so that I can use the pen tool on the guides. Otherwise, it's going to freak out like it just did before. Okay, great. So I'm coming off this one. Let's say it's going to hit right up here. Move that so it's right on. Comes up here. I'm going to say it comes down here. It comes up here. I might move that in a bit more. And it's going to bounce up here. Bounces from here to here. There, back down. Yeah, I'm basically just making this up where I think if the logo was to bounce off, where it would end up. So maybe there. And then that can bounce back here. Just can maybe come back up to like the middle here. And then should I make it hit the middle and come back to the corner? Should this be the corner one? Sure, well, why not? So from the corner here. And then I think I'm just gonna loop it back to the start. So just do a pretty short one, I reckon. That might be the best way to go. Just gonna move this right in there. Awesome, so that's our little path mapped out. Bum, bum, bum. Gonna have another water break. Make sure the music's still playing. Yeah, there we are. Apologies if I'm making gross water noises in the microphone. Yes. So this is all good to go. We've mapped out the path we want it to do, but now we've got to let After Effects know that that path we want to turn into the position of the logo. So I'm just going to copy the mask path and paste it onto the position here. And that makes it move and freak out. But I believe if I push it back to where I want it, it should be ready to go. So I'm just going to zoom in, make sure this is right on, and just make sure the others match up too. So now that's going a little bit past it, so I need to bring this down a little bit more. And now it's a little too far down, so just fiddling until I get it pretty spot on. Yeah, a little bit more up. Bop, 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 bop. And a little bit more down. There we go, I think that's pretty good. Let me check out some of the other points. I zoomed way too far out. It's been a while since I've used After Effects, so I'm a little fresh at it, but that's okay, because we're all learning. Okay, cool. So then if I delete this mask that I've created, it should have copied all the points I made into the position tab. If I'm to scroll through that, it goes through it, but it goes through it super quickly. I'm going to play that, it's like, wow! Very cool, but we might want to slow that down a bit to give it that real DVD screensaver anticipation that we all know and love. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to grab the end key frame of the position and just pull that out to really like stretch out the time. And I'm just going to play and see how that goes for, oops. It's freaking out. There we go. See how that goes for speed. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. What do we reckon? A bit slow, a bit faster? Might make it just a teeny bit slower. Yeah. Give it time to render out. There we are. Yeah, okay, cool. I like that speed. And I'm just going to scroll through and make sure it hits. It looks very good as it goes. It hits all the edges. Yes. Yes. Cool. Hits that top one. Comes back down. And then the satisfying corner one. Bam. Before it goes back to the starting position, and then I'll have it looping so it can do that on repeat. Sweet. So we're pretty much there. This was a lot quicker than I was expecting it to be, but I will start I'll start matching up where it hits each of the edges and start changing the colors of this Netflix logo. So yeah, let's go for it. To do that, I'm gonna make sure my Netflix layer is selected. Go to effects and presets and go change to color. I'm just gonna drag and drop that right on there. Hello Lydia, I see your little comment in the chat box. Thanks for joining. Cool. So I'm gonna change from hue to hue and saturation, which will change my logo to grey, which is not what I want. I want it to start off red. So I'm just gonna get this little 2 and change it back to red. I kind of like a dusty, like, yeah, softer red rather than such a harsh one. I think it looks a little bit more modern when it's got that little soft touch to it. So we've got that. I am going to hit the little stopwatch to add a keyframe. And I'm gonna hold down shift as I like scrub along this little timeline. And then it should lock into the place of the when it hits the next edge. And I'm gonna go to preview. I'm gonna hit this little keyframe button to make sure it's red as it hits that, and then on the very next frame it'll change to the next color. So let's go like this softish purple color. Cool. And I'm gonna keep scrubbing along, make sure my music's playing. It seems to keep stopping for some reason. Make sure you guys can hear it. There we go. Cool. So I've got going from red, hitting that edge, turning to like this soft purple, and then I want it to snap to that next point, add another keyframe so it stays purple until it hits the next frame, and then we'll change it to maybe like a green. Cool. Ah. Amazing. So now if I scrub through, it should start off red, change to blue, purple, I guess. Change to purple so it hits that edge, come back down, change to green. And I want it to hit this edge and change to like an orange. Let me know what color you want me to change it to as it hits the corner. Cool. So red, purple, green, orange. We'll snap it to the next edge. Keyframe, next point. do a yellow. Might make it a, yeah, like a lighter kind of yellow. Cool. And to the next one, and we just keep doing the same thing. Until we've changed all the colors. Lydia wants pink as it hits the corner. No surprise there. Let's make this really blue. There we go. Let's grab along. Keyframe, next frame, change the color. Let's get like a really like limey green. Something like that. Bum, bum, bum. Cool. And same thing. What colors haven't I used yet? It's about to go into pink, so I gotta do something before that. Yeah, maybe it can go into a nice grey, why not? Great, so blue, green, grey. Grey because we never think we're gonna get the satisfying corner here, and then boom. We change to pink and everything's good again. Okay, what type of pink? Yeah, something like that, maybe? Yeah, that's pretty pink. Let's go with that. And it hits the edge, and then we want it... it should hit red as it starts to loop back up again. Okie dokie. I'm just gonna end the animation right on that last keyframe, so it can loop. I'm just gonna play, see if it'll play through a little bit. Nope. Try again. Hang on. Just like scrub through so it can preload and see if it's working alright, if it's changing colors. Hell yeah. So it flies across the screen. Cool. And it's just looping back to the start because it hasn't finished rendering yet. So that's why that's doing that. For anyone who's unfamiliar with After Effects, not the most common software in the world, I suppose, unless you're into special effects. And here's that corner hit. Bam. Yeah, nice. And it should go back. Ah, awesome. That looked really well, I think. Let me watch that again. There to the pink. And then does it loop back to the start again? Hell yeah, very smooth. Okay, cool. So that is what it would look like if Netflix decided to copy the old DVD logo as a little screensaver, which I highly recommend they should. People would love it. Cool. All right, I'm going to render this out, show you what it looks like in the final image, and then we're done for my first ever stream. Thanks for checking in, guys. Alrighty. I'm just going to hide my screen as I render it out. Bum, bum, bum. Pause that. And hide. Cool. Now it's just me. Lucky you guys. Bum, ba-da, bum. Layer. Composition. Sorry, talking to myself, trying to remember how to render it. I think it's that one. Ba-ba-bum. Okay, I'm gonna save it as Netflix _ DVD. Save. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I'll save it as a QuickTime, and then later I'll save it as a GIF so that it can loop. And I'll probably post it to Double Negative Studios story, so you will be able to find it there later. Okie dokie. Save. Okay, I think that'll work. Hope it does. Alright, it should be a pretty quick render as it's a pretty small file. It's just a logo bumping around a screen. Fantastic. In the meantime, feel free to check out the description of this video. I have a link to the Discord, which I really want to build that community so we can talk about things, so I can build a community of creative people where we can talk about all things creative. There's different channels in there where you can talk about, that little ding was just the rendering finish, but there's different channels in there, so you can talk about fashion, or you can talk about writing creatively, you can talk about photography, you can talk about what shows you've been watching, you can talk about the art you've been doing, you can ask for help from other people. I've got a chat room in there that I haven't used yet, but to play Gartic Phone, I feel like it'd be fun for a bunch of creators to get together and play Gartic Phone sometime. So definitely join the Discord if you haven't, and I've also got a link to our Instagram to follow Double Negative Studio, where I create a bunch of stuff, and so does a couple of other artists that I love to showcase their work. And then I have some big plans for 2022 with Double Negative Studio, hoping they come together and I can follow through on them, because I'm super excited about what I've got in store for Double Negative Studio. And more stream sessions like this. So if you have any ideas, you can either drop them in the Discord, in the chat box here, or the description below on what you want to see a new fresh take of. But in the meantime, let me try and bring up this render that I just rendered out of what we just made. It doesn't want to open. I'll try opening it with VLC, otherwise I will render it again. Oh no, here it goes. Da-da-da. Ooh, it's rendered, but it's not smooth. So I'm gonna try and render that one again. If it doesn't work this time, I'll render off stream and then I'll upload it later. But you kind of saw the gist of it on my After Effects screen anyways. Let me try again. Pre-render. Yes, 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 yes. Maybe I'll like pre-compose them together. And then I'll pre-render. Yeah, but if you guys have any ideas on what you want to see me do a fresh take of, whether it be like another brand's logo, whether it be an animation like this, whether it be, yeah, anything you'd like to see me redesign, maybe like redesign Comic Sans font, like make that better. Yeah, anything along those lines, hit me up. I'd love to do it. I'm always looking for new ideas, so let me know what your ideas are and I'll try and do it on a live stream sometime. Pre-render. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, yeah, I'll fix that. If I change it to that one, it should work much better. Okay. Netflix DVD, save, replace. Let's render that out, see how we go. Okay, cool. It's flying through that. I'll see if I can show you. If I can't, I'll render it off stream and upload it to Double Negative Story later. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. I look forward to making a lot more of these and a few more longer ones too. This one was super short, but I'd love to do more on the iPad where I'm drawing and stuff like that too. I just wanted to do one to get the first one out of the way and then see what's possible for the future. Okay, cool. That was the finished rendering noise. Let's see how we went. Ba-ba-bum. Cool. That looks like it's working much better. All right. Let me get that up for you. Cool, so I just got it over my little Illustrator window here, just in a little QuickTime browser, make that a bit bigger. Yeah, and I'll just play it through and you can see what the final result is. Super simple, but yeah, just wanted to see what was possible with streaming through Double Negative Studio, and yeah, I look forward to doing more of this kind of stuff. You can see, yeah, as soon as it hits the end, it changes color. Super happy with that result. And then we've got the satisfying corner hit right here. Bam. So good. Did it to pink, and then should go back to red. It won't loop because it's just a move file, but then it would start again. Which it will do if I save it as a GIF, which I'll try and do as well. But yeah, thanks so much everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching my first ever stream. Yeah, and I'll catch you. I'll hopefully try and do these weekly. If weekly is seeming a bit too hard, it might be fortnightly or something like that. But definitely want to do more of these. Let me know what ideas you guys have, and I would love to give them a go. Yeah, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah.